I've driven 160 laps around Qatar's F1 circuit on F1 25, and today I'm showing you how much I improved. Yes, that's almost 3 times the distance of a Grand Prix around here. I got no life. On top of that, I'm gonna try and get into the top 1% of the world. As you can see, that's a 121.286 at the 1046 spot out of a little over 100,000 people who have set a lap time here. This will not be easy, but we're on board for my first lap, which wasn't great, but I'm gonna improve massively, so stick around till the end to see if we can make this challenge and get into the 1%. Going through the first turn now, let's see, we go very deep. I started using the default setup, but I just tried to get a lap on the board on this first lap, get into a rhythm, you know. I have never really sweated this track. I think I did a 21.8 before. But let's see where we square up with the default setup in this first lap. As you can see, it's not too bad, you know. We're getting around the lap. We're getting around the lap. Through the corners, really nice track to drive. To be honest, I first was not sure if I liked it, but as I've now done the laps already, I do like the track. It is a joy to drive. Really flowy, but really hard, and also really hard to get on the limit, because there are so many track limits. You have to get so close, and you will see in the video, by the end of this video, how close we will get to the invalidations. But through the last corner, through turn 16 we go. Through the line is a 123.866. Jeez, we've got a long way to go. Top 35% at this point. So we've still got quite a way to go, but it's alright. In the second lap, as you can see, we didn't really improve. We're still on the default setup, but through the last corners we go, and we are gonna improve by almost a 10th. Let's go, top 34%. Let's go. If we can keep this up, you know, we only need 34 laps. So, alright, lap 3 we are now. We are finally improving. We now have put on the world record setup, which is gonna make a massive difference. As you can see in the top right, 1.5 seconds we were up, but we're invalidating already. We're not even 10 laps in. I cannot even get a lap together. But lap 9 again, as you can see here, we get really close to the invalidations, a little too much. Now on to lap 10, we go through the end of the corner, and unfortunately again an invalidation, but we're gonna go on board for lap 11. Which is finally gonna be a little bit of the benchmark of this video, my start. So we're gonna turn in here, get close to the curb. As you can see here, we get on the power nicely, and it's already a 3/10 improvement compared to the default setup. Going to turn 2 and 3 nicely. This corner is so hard to get right. You will see in this video me struggle everywhere. But as you can see here, we are gonna improve a bit the setup, because it's such a big difference with the setup. The default setups suck, as everyone should know by now. Going through turn, I think this 7 and 8, this left kink, again trying to focus on the exit. Still trying to just get used to the track, you know. I have never really sweated this track, and I don't really know where the time is at this point in time. So in lap 11 we're gonna speed up the third sector, as this is pretty much flat out. At first I didn't even go flat out, but we are going flat out right now, and almost a 2 seconds improvement. It's gonna be a top 6%. Now we are talking. So top 6%, and we do a 21.9, and then there are gonna be a lot of invalidations in this video. Sorry guys, I did 160 laps. Insane. And you're gonna see me invalidate a hell of a lot of times, but still I kept going. This was a track where you can, even though you invalidate, still keep going. So it was kind of easy to just keep the laps going, and that's maybe also why I did so many laps. But here you can see in the left-hander, nice little improvement, almost a 10th improvement. We're gonna throw it in the right. You wanna hit more of the curb, but we get on the power very nicely as well. Then open up the corner, go on the right hand side, and this is a really tricky corner with the bumpy track. 2.5 tenths, almost 3 tenths we are up. Then through the flat out third sector, as you can see we still go through it, and we're downshifting to 6th at this point in time. Going through the last corner now, it looks like we are gonna improve again. We're over 3/10 improvement in lap 25. We're already in lap 25. We're gonna be flying today. Top 3% now. And now we are in lap 28. Let's see what we can do. We're up half a tenth. But unfortunately, we're gonna mess up a little bit. Lap 29 now. Through the third sector, we're on the board. We did kind of the same lap. So we're gonna go through the end, and we did see some green, but unfortunately through the last corner, we're not gonna improve, but we're gonna get close. So we're getting a little bit more consistent. It's good. Through this hairpin here, you can see the time we can gain if we get the exit right there on the top right hand side. You can see 1.5 tenths up. Then in this right hander, unfortunately, get on the power a little bit too soon. Now lap 35, let's see where we can find the time. We take a little bit more speed through the corner, but we're not gonna gain time through turn 1. Turn 2 is fine, and then turn 3 is of course a flat out right kink. Then through this sector you really wanna throw it in. Let's see what we do. We hit the curb nicely, but as you can see we hit the curb. Yeah, it is better than our previous time, better than our previous 30.1 at this point. Here you can see my previous time was not a great exit, so we gain a lot of time on that exit there. Throwing the car in again, not really getting close to the apex, and that's why we lose some time again. And then we do not keep the car to the right hand side, and here we miss the apex again. So we're gonna lose out a little bit in the second sector, but let's see what we can do in the third sector, which even though it is a flat out section, it is still a section there where you can gain a lot of time if you do it perfectly, and you're gonna see that later on. Half a tenth we're up. Can we hook it up in the last corner? It looks like we can. It's gonna be a small improvement to 0.602, and that's a top 2.5%. Slowly chipping away, but we still got quite a long way to go. We still need about 4/10 in the lap, so we still have a long way to go. And this was the last sector I was talking about. You can see we were up on our time, but just because we weren't smooth enough, weren't cutting the corners the right way, we're gonna lose out a little bit of time, and through the last corner, unfortunately, we're not gonna improve again. Let's see what we can do now in the second sector. You can see we're half a tenth up on our time. And we just about invalidate. Unfortunately, just go over the line. Tiny bit. Which is really unfortunate. But here you can see we get very close to the lines, which gains us another half a tenth. Throwing the car in, also getting nicely on the apex. And the exit is not that great. It's maybe better to take it in third. But at this point I was taking it with second. Then throwing the car in, really nice exit here. You can see the time gain on the top right hand side. Then keep the car on the right hand side. And throwing the car in, we hit the apex really nicely. And we gain a few thousands as well. And now we are in the third sector. Let's see what we can do. We're not that smooth yet, but yeah, we also really missed the apex there, unfortunately. So we're gonna lose a lot more time. And then through the last corner, it is going to be a decent last corner, so it is going to be another improvement. It is a small one, but we are in the top 2% now with a 21.543. Lap 46 for now. Just again, so many invalidations, and the setup, I don't know, I was just starting to struggle as well a little bit with the setup. Here you're gonna see throwing the car in, not more invalidations, just me struggling overall here. Trying to gain the time everywhere, you know. Especially the first sector, I knew in the top left hand side you could see me. I was 2/10 away from the first, in the first sector alone. And only the first sector is 2/10, so I was throwing it in everywhere. Trying to gain the time, as you can see. And to the end of the video you will see where we find the time, but at this point I was just trying a bunch of stuff and I didn't really understand where I could find the time in the first sector, and I just kept on messing up. And as I said, the setup, it was throwing me off, so I got to a point where I was just trying to change the setup and nothing really worked. You know, you try something and it gains you time somewhere, but then again I understood why the world record setup was the world record setup, you know. But we're gonna move on to lap 58, and as you can see, we're down on our time by about, we were down by 3 hundredths, And now we are up on our time. And here you can see we get really close. And look at the top right. We just gained a 10th in a flat out corner just by cutting the corner. And through the last corner we go. We're just going to improve by a 10th just over on that third sector. And now we only have to hook up the first sector really and the third sector like that. And then we should be good. That should be it. We're in the top 1.5% now. Lap 64. Again, as you can see here, we just don't hook it up as well as our previous time. So we're just about down. Can we gain the time in the last corner? It looks like we do get a better exit. Are we going to get so close? Let's see what we do. We're actually going to be 5,000 slower than my original time. So we're getting close. And it is motivating. Here again, through the last sector we go. I just did such a good last sector. And again, we just invalidate. It is flat out corner and it should be easy, right? But it is still so important to get, you see the corners, get that right hand, the other tire also on the limit, on the line of the track limits. And you will see how that goes. Lap 70, I think this is a really nice first sector, throwing the car in, barely braking through the left-hander. That is where a lot of time lies. Keeping the minimum speed here, throwing the car in, getting on the power straight away, and you really have to see it as 2 corners and not as 1 corner there. Turn 4 and 5 that you can see we spin out, unfortunately. Again, up on our time, more invalidations coming in lap 78 now. We're moving quick, we're moving fast. Again, we're a 10th up, almost a 10th up on our time. And this hard left-hander, let's see what we do. Just be a little bit hesitant, but we get on the power very nicely. It's a really nice exit. We're actually over a 10th up. But we were struggling a little bit in the last sector. Can we hook it up? Be smooth. And I meant it in this right hand. You want the left tires on the track limits, just like the right tire here. And we just take it a little bit too tight. Unfortunately, it's gonna be in invalidations, even though we're at 10th up. There's so much time in the lap. Here you can see lap 80. Let's go on board for another lap. Again, throwing it in. We're half a 10th up. It's not perfect, but it is still looking like an improvement. So that's good. Going down to 6th. You want to cut more of that corner. We get really close to the invalidation. You want to get closer even. But it is a 10th of an improvement. It's a 30.0, and then through this left-hander, it is all right. Again, taking second gear. And then throwing the car in, we're so close to the validations, but we do gain some time because of that. And then through this left-hander, let's see what we can do. Can we keep the speed up and get a good exit? It looks very good actually. And we have 1.5 tenths up on our time. Now, the infamous last sector, which has been nagging us all day, you could see by all the invalidations. We get really nice and close to the invalidations. Now this left-hander, which is the hardest one of the last sector. And we still up by over a 10th. Let's see what we can do in this last corner. Can we hook it up? We get very close again through the apex. It's really nice. And so we're going to improve. Is it going to be enough? It's just about 20,000. Top 1.1%. We're so close. But we're not there yet. 0.306, and now we're moving on to lap 98. Again, a really nice first sector. As you can see, so much time still in the lap. So, yeah, we should be good, right? But we still, as you know by the title, have a lot of laps to go. So after lap 100 of the day, this was the first time in my life that I did 100 laps in one session. As you can see, the session best, 0.231. It was time to take a break. And the day after, we're going again. You know, we're not done yet because I needed to do this. And I felt like there was so much time in the lap. So we're just gonna go again. This time switching to another car. Maybe that gives us a little luck. I also switched to another world record setup. And that seemed to work as well. So that was a setup with really low brake bias. And here you can see how close we get to the invalidations. 0.9. But because the brake bias is so low, I really struggled then in the hairpin. But you can change the brake bias during the race. So here you can see again a really nice first sector. Or at least it's starting to be, you know. Could be better still, but really low brake bias seem to have worked. Again, you could see the left-hand tire on the track limits. Over 10th up and then through this kink, up the brake bias, but it's just not nice. And again, we're gonna struggle in that corner. Again, a 10th up, going through the hairpin. Again, just not hooking it up, unfortunately. And here in lap 19, actually so close to our time. It was a very good time. We throw the car in, it's low brake bias, so we lose the rear. Still barely losing, actually, on our previous time, but it's not gonna be an improvement. Then in lap 24, 124, I should say, we were 1.5 tenths up. Unfortunately, we're gonna invalidate lap 135 now. Through the last sector, last corner, we are up on our time. Can we hook it up? Let's see what we do. We just do not carry enough minimum speed. And you could see that my previous time, it was quite a good last corner. So unfortunately, we're not gonna improve yet. It is not our time yet. Now, let's go on board for 136, lap 136 in the first sector. Unfortunately, not as good as possible, and I knew that the majority of time was in the first sector, so here you can see still getting so close to invalidation. This is a really good turn 4 and 5. It's actually a 0.8, throwing the car in. It's not a nice hairpin, unfortunately losing all the time that we just gained. Still, we are up on our time through these corners. Getting the car rotated nicely, and we're still gonna improve because of that extra rotation, because of the lower brake bias. Here, getting on the power really nice, and we're almost 2 tenths up. We're on for a 0.1, and let's see what we do through the last sector. We go close to the invalidation. Can we hook this up? We get close again, and it's a little too close. And unfortunately, this was definitely the best lap we were on. And it's a 0.1, unfortunately, we mess up. But on the other hand, it's motivating. Lap 155 now. Let's see again, we're up on our time. Not as good as the one before, but now we did hook it up. Through the last corner we go. And we're just gonna lose a lot of time. We're still gonna improve. Is it gonna be enough? We need 20,000. Unfortunately, it is only 3,000 slower than the time that we need to beat. And after 156 laps, I was kind of done with this. But there was so much time in the lap. Here you can see how much time we just can gain. We're so close. We can gain or lose time, a lot of time in the third sector. And here again, get close to our time. We don't need a lot, but we do need something. And unfortunately, we're gonna mess up. But now we go on board for lap 160. My best lap. Let's see where we found the time on this Qatar circuit. Let me know in the comments what track you want to see next. But let's see, you want to throw the car in after the 50 here. Keep it in 5th gear ideally. Get on the power, and we completely missed the apex there. Then throw the car in, barely touch the brakes or not touching the brakes there in 5th gear. We are a little bit down on our time, but it's fine. Throwing the car in 6th gear, getting on the power straight away and getting as close as you can see. Seeing it as 2 corners. We do a 0.8 first sector, then here you should be closer to the apex, but still we carry the speed and get the exit right. So it's not that bad. Here again, carry the speed, keep the speed up in the corner and get on the power as soon as you can. And in this corner, the exit is oh so important. Keep it in 4th if you can. Here you can see the exit is all right. And we gain some time. We're up on our time by 30,000. So this should be fine, right? And then in this third sector, as I've been saying the whole time, there's a lot of time to be gained. And here you can see so close to invalidation. It almost looked like an invalidation. We still lose some time. But through the last corner, can we hook it up? You can see here, it is decent. It's not a perfect lap, but we're gonna take it. It's a top 1% finally. Oh my god, 160 laps. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.